Hey guys, it's Madeleine and welcome to Wild Dish. Today I'm at Ethos, which is an incredible, healthy, plant-based cafe here in London. So I asked Jessica, the owner, to share with us some of her favourite recipes. I'm so excited to see what she's got planned. So Jessica, it's so great to be here with you. What are we going to be making today?
It's great to have you, Madeleine. This morning we're going to be making a kale and sweet potato breakfast hash.
Yum, that sounds so good.
It is, just wait.
What is our first step?
The first step is we're going to take our tofu and we're going to press it.
Okay.
Because tofu tends to have a lot of water in it. So you wrap it in a nice clean tea towel and go.
Okay.
To put something nice and heavy on top.
Right, okay, so should we put this to the side?
Yes.
So this is obviously quite a different breakfast because we've got a lot of spices going on, which you probably don't really have for breakfast often.
No, but it's fairly mild. There's no chili, for example, and I think the mix of all the spices is going to be fantastic in your mouth.
Really flavoursome.
Exactly. So you need 3 tablespoons of the cumin, 2 tablespoons of garlic, and the paprika.
Some turmeric.
It's got so many great health benefits, turmeric, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's such a good antioxidant. It's really good for you, like if you've got any inflammation. I often put it in like warm water in the morning. It's quite a good way of getting it in. And then some of the ginger.
Finally, your coriander.
Nice. So we've got a lot of spices going on in
and
it's giving a nice flavour.
Yeah, so many great flavours coming through. Make it nice and mixed through. And we're making a big batch of this at the moment, but it stores for a long time. So just put it in a container and you can use this. Okay, so the next step is we're going to get our sweet potato ready. So either we can use 2 small or 1 large sweet potato. We're going to keep the skin on.
Okay.
And we're going to cut it into half-moon shapes, semicircles.
And sweet potatoes are such a good potato to use. They're like packed full of vitamins.
It's quite low in carbohydrates as well.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm just going to pop the sweet potato into a bowl.
Okay.
And now we move on to the onion.
I hope I don't cry.
Top and tail, and then we'll take off the skin.
Okay, perfect.
Then we wanted to get them into wedges, so chop it into 8s. Lovely. They're going to be nice and sweet and caramelized, so don't worry about eating onions for breakfast. Pop them in the bowl, lovely. Okay, so the next step is we're going to season our sweet potato and onions. Okay, so we're going to take the spice mix that we had earlier and do a teaspoon of that. And coconut oil is next. That's going to bind it all together and make it a bit more of a paste.
Yeah. And it's a really good oil to cook with because it has a high smoking point, so it doesn't denature with heat as well. And it gives like kind of a nice sweet taste to it.
A pinch of salt and pepper.
Beautiful.
And then 1 teaspoon of the coconut sugar.
So this is like an amazing sugar. It's made from the sap of the coconut plant. And it doesn't spike your blood sugar levels like normal sugar, but it gives that caramel taste to it.
Yeah, you can see the colour. It's very,
so
brown.
beautiful.
Great. Maybe give it a toss as well.
Getting stuck in.
There we go. Now it goes on to a baking tray.
Perfect, so let's get this in the oven. And how long are we going to put it in for?
It's going in 25 to 35 minutes. So you're going to make sure that the onions are nice and caramelized and brown, and then the sweet potato is fork tender. So if you put a fork in, it's going to be nice and soft.
What are we going to do with this tofu?
So the tofu, we're going to crumble it. So we've got 2 forks here. Or you could use your hands as you like. And then just going to pull it apart. And then we're going to put some seasoning on it. So you want to give it a go?
Yeah, definitely. And how crumbled do you want it to be?
Not too fine, into some nice little chunks. We'll be breaking it up more on the skillet anyway. So tofu is a great source of protein, especially if you don't eat meat or fish. And it soaks up all the different flavours that you put into it. So by itself, it doesn't have much flavour. which is probably why a lot of people don't like it. But once you know how to work with it, it's really interesting.
Okay,
Perfect.
right, so crumbled.
Yes, and then some turmeric. Yeah, a pinch of salt and pepper.
So I just put in some salt, nice pinch of salt. And some fresh pepper. Yeah, it does look like scrambled eggs, doesn't it?
Next step is we're going to heat some oil on our pan here.
So some coconut oil again for cooking. Just melts away. Should we put the tandoori in there? So just what, like a teaspoon?
Yeah.
Nice. And then pop it in.
Yeah.
Smells so delicious, and that turmeric's like really coloured it. So how long do we need to do this for?
We're looking for a slight change in colour, so it's got that nice golden colouring. Probably a few minutes until it's sort of nice and warm through.
So could you use this as an alternative to scrambled eggs if you didn't eat eggs?
Yeah,
Quite a good idea.
I do,
yeah. And we're going to saute some kale. So kale's kind of like the superfood that everyone's always trying to get into their diet. So rich in vitamins. And you want to remove the stalks. Do you remove the stalks?
I do. I try and just take most of the leaves. And if you're in a rush as well, it's a good way to speed up the cooking process.
Okay, so that coconut oil's melted. So we're going to put in some of that spice mix, aren't we?
Just about a teaspoon.
It's just going to make like the spices really fragrant. Chuck in that kale.
Lovely.
Good.
And you're going to just wilt it for about 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay. So the kale's looking nice and cooked through.
Yep. Add that back in. We're going to heat it all up together.
Okay, so it's nice and warm.
Exactly.
It looks so good, the colours.
Look at it. Wow, it's amazing. And so at this point, I'll probably also add in some nutritional yeast, which we mentioned earlier, which is just such a great flavour. So I'm probably going to add, I just add so much in, but you can probably just add in 2 or 3 teaspoons. So just sprinkle it on top, and that's just going to add to the flavour that comes out through this dish.
And it's not like yeast that you use to bake bread or anything like that. It actually has a really nice cheesy flavour, and it's full of B vitamins as well.
And for me, if I try to follow a plant-based diet, it's a source of B12, which you can't get anywhere else. So it's really important if you're on a vegan or a plant-based diet to have that in your daily routine.
Yeah. So the tofu's done, the sweet potatoes out of the oven, and now we can plate up.
So we're going to put the sweet potato mix in first on the bottom.
All the colours are so great.
And then we've just got our final additions to top it all off.
Yes.
So we're going to sprinkle on some pomegranate seeds.
Beautiful.
Another burst of colour.
Yeah, I love that pop in your mouth that you get from pomegranate. Yeah, I love putting them on everything. Put seeds?
Yep, pumpkin seeds.
Gives it a nice crunch, really good source of zinc as well, good for your skin, pumpkin seeds.
And then final touch of avocado.
Because avocado goes with everything.
For sure.
Might just use my fingers to get stuff
Easier. And we're going to top it off with some parsley. And of course, parsley is great for keeping your breath nice and fresh, which is good when you're offsetting it against the onions that we put in earlier.
That's a really good tip, I've never heard that before. I mean, it's a work of art. What an amazing breakfast dish. Thank you so much for having me. I've had such a good time here at Ethos.
You're very welcome, Madeleine. Great to have you.
Thank you. And thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to Wild Dish by clicking here. And for more of what I've been up to, click here. And if there's any recipe that you want to see me create, leave a comment below and I'll see you next time.